victory came at a cost. Sultan Murad was assassinated. With the army leaderless, Bayezid acted instantly. He summoned his brother Yaqub, then had him executed, securing the throne in a single ruthless move. Fratricide became an Ottoman tradition to prevent civil war. The soldiers, awed by his decisiveness, hailed Bayezid as Sultan. His reign began as it would continue, swift, merciless, and ambitious. The Thunderbolt had seized not just a victory but an empire. The world was about to feel his full force. Bayezid's rule would be defined by action, never hesitation. With the throne secure, Bayezid unleashed his fury on the Balkans. Serbia, broken at Kosovo, became his vassal. Its ruler, Stefan Lazarevic, fought at his side. Bayezid's strategy was to absorb, not just conquer, turning enemies into allies. Bulgaria fell next. Its capital, Tarnovo, was taken, the state erased from the map. The message was clear: resist and be destroyed. Bayezid's armies swept north, making Wallachia a vassal and dominating southeastern Europe. His speed and success terrified Western Europe. The Pope called for a crusade. In 1396, a grand European army marched to Nicopolis, only to be crushed by Bayezid's tactics and cavalry. The flower of European chivalry was annihilated, thousands killed or captured. Bayezid's reputation as an invincible warrior was sealed. The Thunderbolt had struck, and all of Christendom trembled. His empire now stretched from the Danube to the Aegean. No one in Europe could stand against him. The Balkans belonged to Bayezid. Bayezid's ambition turned to Constantinople, the Red Apple, the world's most coveted city. In 1394, he began the first sustained Ottoman siege, building Anadolu Hisari to blockade the Bosphorus. The city's defenders faced starvation as Bayezid tightened his grip. The Byzantine emperor begged Europe for help, but after Nicopolis, few dared challenge the Thunderbolt. Even as he besieged Constantinople, Bayezid marched east, subduing the Turkish beyliks of Anatolia. Diplomacy, marriage, and force brought Saruhan, Aydin, Mentesh, Jermian, and the Karamanids under his rule. By 1400, Bayezid's empire stretched from the Danube to the Euphrates. He petitioned the Abbasid Caliph for the title Sultan of Rum, claiming the legacy of both Seljuks and Byzantines. At the height of his power, Bayezid stood as a giant straddling two continents. His authority seemed absolute, his ambition limitless. The Ottomans were no longer just warriors, they were empire builders. Constantinople remained unconquered, but its fate was sealed. Bayezid's shadow loomed over east and west. By 1400, Bayezid's empire was vast and diverse: Turks, Greeks, Serbs, Bulgarians, and more. He centralized power, creating a bureaucracy loyal only to the Sultan. The Divan, staffed by his own appointees, replaced old tribal systems. The Kul system, with Christian converts as loyal officials, laid the foundation for Ottoman absolutism. Wealth from conquest funded a magnificent court and grand architecture. Bursa became a center of art and learning. The Great Mosque symbolized his victories. The Ottomans were now rulers of a sophisticated, multicultural empire. Yet, beneath the splendor, tensions simmered. Christian subjects resented Ottoman rule. Turkish beyliks longed for revenge. Bayezid's rapid conquest bred enemies within and without. All it needed was a spark, a challenger from the east. That challenger was coming: Timur. Timur the Lame, Tamerlane, rose from Central Asia, a conqueror as ambitious and ruthless as Bayezid. The exiled Anatolian emirs, ousted by Bayezid, sought Timur's aid. Insults flew between the two rulers. War was inevitable. Bayezid, overconfident, marched east to meet Timur near Ankara in 1402. Bayezid's army was strong, but many Anatolian Turks fought for him only by force. Timur exploited this, sending exiled emirs to sway Bayezid's troops. Thousands deserted. The Ottoman army collapsed. Even Bayezid's Serbian vassals fought more loyally than his own Turks. Bayezid was captured. His reign ended in disaster. Legends say Timur humiliated him. Whatever the truth, the Thunderbolt was broken. Less than a year later, Bayezid died in captivity. The empire he built at lightning speed crumbled just as fast. The invincible Sultan was gone. The Ottomans faced their greatest crisis. Bayezid's defeat plunged the Ottomans into chaos. Timur restored the old beyliks and sacked Bursa. Bayezid's sons fought a decade-long civil war, the Ottoman interregnum. Yet, the state survived, thanks to the institutions Bayezid had built. The centralized bureaucracy, janissaries, and vassal system endured. The Balkans held firm, provided resources for recovery. The Ottomans became more than a personal fief. They were an enduring institution. After 10 years, Mehmed I reunited the empire, Bayezid's empire. The dream of Constantinople and world conquest lived on. Bayezid